Welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson, and we've got a lot of hunting and fishing heading your way this week. We're going to give you an update on what our archery season has looked like so far. We'll also take you out on the St. Clair River chasing after some big old sturgeon in the dark, and Jimmy's got some other fun stuff for us this week too.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have a few more things on this week's show. We're going to have some information for some of you that are going to be hunting in the southern part of the Lower Peninsula. There's some work being done that may affect you as sportsmen here over the next several weeks. We're also going to have a venison recipe for you on this week's show. It is a dandy and you won't want to miss it. So lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors. Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By Meijer, a destination for hunting, fishing, and camping. From bug spray and tents to GPS and gas, Meijer has nearly everything you need to take on nature and get you there. Meijer. By G5 Outdoors, makers of the Quest and Prime bows. Manufactured and designed in Memphis, Michigan, G5 offers archery bows, broadheads, and accessories. On the web at g5outdoors.com. By Country Smokehouse, offering a variety of meat products. Country Smokehouse is located 3 miles south of I-69 on M53, just south of Imlay City. Country Smokehouse is a meat processor, a butcher, and a destination for sportsmen.
Hi, I'm Jordan Brown, and there's no place I'd rather be than in a bow stand in late October. It's October 22nd. The rut is this close here in Michigan. We're starting to see some more rut activity the last few days. A few more rubs, a few more scrapes. Younger bucks are starting to cruise a little bit, starting to bump some does. It's close. We're close to the best bow hunting of the entire year here in Michigan. Now, we spent a lot of time in October behind the camera in the tree stand, and we're a part of a lot of fun hunts, got to sit with a lot of different people, but unfortunately didn't get any kills on camera. But we're going to be spending a lot of time behind the camera the next couple weeks, and hopefully we can kind of change our luck and get a couple of bow kills on camera. But we have had some fun hunts, just couldn't quite close the deal.
It's October 17th, pretty much the first cold sit that we've set, and we're just pretty much looking for a doe to walk by, put some meat in the freezer. It'd be nice if a nice buck walked by too.
We're out here on a perfect fall evening. It's October 20th, and we have a little bit of a unique sit tonight. Actually combining something else I really love to do. If you can see here, we are on a golf course. We're right in the middle of a golf course, and this little woodlot we're hunting is just off the perimeter of the course, and we're looking forward to a good sit.
We're out here on a farm that we've hunted a few times. This is our first time in the stand tonight. It's in a real nice pine area. We're right over here by a bedding area. The wind is perfect for the stand if the deer are gonna come where we think they're gonna come from. So it's a beautiful night out. There's not much wind, but it's absolutely gorgeous out. So we're hoping we're gonna see some deer and I can get my first bow kill of the season, so we'll see.
Filming and hunting both have been tough here in early October, and hopefully that's bound to change with the rut right around the corner. Meanwhile, Gabe Van Wormer was having a little better luck behind the camera, hunting near the Lansing area.
Here on my property, I got a small little parcel of 5 acres here, and a lot of people kind of scrunch up their face and look at me when I say I practice quality deer management, and it's really paid off. I got a real nice section of property here. I have 4 neighbors to the west of me that all own 5-acre chunks. It's the right property, even though it's 5 acres. It's perfect, and putting off shooting those young bucks has just, I got some pictures of some dandies, just beautiful bucks coming in. I've seen some. I have not had the opportunity to put one down and put it on my wall. It's very, very enjoyable to see that happen. And none of my other neighbors practice QDM, but yet I still see the benefits of letting them walk, letting them grow. 3. Gotta wait for her to step out, give a nice clean shot. Don't know. I ranged her for 35 yards. Rechecked. She was 35 yards. I put my 35 yard on and shot right over her back. I guess she wasn't big enough. Not a big enough target. That's bad. That's bad.
Well, there's a lot of bow season left, and the best part of bow season is still ahead of us. Good luck to all of the archers hitting the woods over the next couple of weeks.
It's fun fishing for everything here in Michigan, anything from panfish all the way up to muskie or king salmon. But I tell you, there is something about chasing after those big old sturgeon in the dark that really gets your heart pumping. In early October, a group of anglers were heading out of Algonac to fish for sturgeon. We had some heavy hitters on board Tom Loy's big fish boat. The presidents of Michigan's 3 Sturgeon for Tomorrow chapters were coming together on a fishing trip for the first time ever. And we're off.
And we're off.
I knew you first as a muskie guy. Now you're kind of muskie and sturgeon guy.
Now I am, yeah, we also do sturgeon. It's right here by home, don't have to go far. And I like catching the big ones. Really enjoy catching the big ones. So yes, we do both now.
Cool. So where are we heading?
We're heading up the North Channel. We're going to be right near Harson's Island. Fish along the mainland side, again 3 or 4 miles up the river from here. We're right near the end of the North Channel.
All right, cool. As Brenda's husband Gil documented the occasion, I had a chance to talk with these 3 presidents.
I think sturgeon conservation is well represented today.
Yeah. We're chewing the sturgeon fat.
Have the 3 of you ever all fished together for sturgeon?
No.
No.
This is the first.
That's cool.
This is great.
Yeah.
All right.
This is a special treat for us. You know, we get to do this here all the time. We've got the longest season going. Al here, you know, they're really special in Kalamazoo because they can't fish at all.
Right.
Brenda's got a really short season in the wintertime.
Yeah.
So this is really special having these guys here.
We're struggling just to keep any sturgeon in the Kalamazoo alive.
Really?
So this is a big treat for me.
Wow.
And then another thing we wanted to talk about too is the inaugural pilot program of Sturgeon in the Classroom that is soft launching this fall.
Oh, good.
And there are 8 classrooms around the state that in the next couple of weeks we'll be getting some fingerlings from Black Lake, and we're going to figure out how Sturgeon for Tomorrow is going to integrate into the sturgeon in the classroom.
Very cool.
So,
That's exciting.
Very
Yeah, that
exciting.
is.
Good job.
It's been 5 years in the works, so progress.
Both Captain Tom Loy and Jim Felgenauer have fished these waters many years for sturgeon. As we got close to their go-to sturgeon area, the guys worked together to dial in the spot they wanted before dropping anchor. How many feet of water are we looking at?
We're going to try to be in about 35 feet of water, right off the base of the first drop-off. There's a little current seam in here. We want to set up on that seam. Right there, Tom. Now we got to see if these rookies can catch some fish.
Oh, that's right.
We love getting them out for the first time, but you know, it's a little iffy sometimes. We'll coach them though.
As we slipped back into the drop-off, Jim and Tom ran through the setups we'd be fishing with today. Sturgeon feed off the bottom of the river, so we'd need something they can easily find and eat.
All we're doing, we're running a slip sinker rig. We have a snap swivel that runs up the main line. We're going to put about an 8-ounce sinker on there. Okay, and below that we run just a short leader, 3 to 5 feet, with a small hook that we're going to load up with night crawlers.
Jim likes to throw on a mess of crawlers as bait, and Tom likes to try a little different technique to mix up the offering a bit. Tom, you're using minnows on some of these too now?
I'm using sucker minnows, yes. I'm using sucker minnows, and I'll probably put a worm on just for flavor, so to speak.
Okay. Brenda says even though we're out here catching sturgeon, the goal of Sturgeon for Tomorrow is to preserve these great fish.
We live on the Sheboygan River watershed, and because we live with them, they are like our kin, and when we learned that they were in trouble and they needed our help, we were pretty adamant that we didn't want this population to continue to decline on our watch, that they were that important. And after doing an outreach campaign statewide, we learned within several weeks that people do care about sturgeon and they're willing to step up to the plate, and so we created this movement.
It's great to see progress being made in growing the sturgeon population statewide. Out here on the St. Clair River, the rain was coming down and the first sturgeon of the day was ready to do battle with Al.
Okay. Yeah, I just have to be patient here.
Yeah. Just keep the pole out.
Oh, I've never caught a big sturgeon before. They're big, they're heavy, they're slimy. You kind of do what they want to do. You're just an interloper in their world.
How was it bringing one in like that?
You have to be patient. This is a big, big fish, and you're in their turf.
Nicely.
Tom 1, Jim 0.
Brenda, is this exciting for you?
Yes.
Gonna get in there?
Very exciting.
Taking line now. Oh, really pulling.
Pretty powerful, hey?
That's a big fish. And it's relatively close.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Lead him right in. Lead him right in. Reel down. Reel down to the sink. Lead him in. Lead him in. Lead him into the net. Here we go. There we go, Tom. Big fish.
Oh my.
Nice!
Rolling right out of there. There we go.
That's a big fish.
He's a beauty.
Oh my!
Nice job.
Wow.
Huge fish. You got that scale, Jimmy?
There we go. He is. With the fish, he's 63.
Wow.
About 63 on the dot.
Yeah.
Here, grab him right here. There we go. Get over there, Al. That's all right. There you are. That's a big fish. All righty.
Back up.
Big, beautiful sturgeon. Beautiful job. Nice.
Yep.
Nice job, Al.
Look up.
All right. Good job.
Nice work, guys!
All righty.
Well,
You want to get in there?
What now, Tom?
That is
Like a bullet,
sweet.
like a bullet. Yep. Here we go.
Yeah,
That first fish of the night would end up being the last for now. We celebrated the success and waited for another, but it never happened. The rain picked up again and convinced us to call it a night. Sharing a boat with Tom Loy, Jim Felgenauer, Al Wiener, and Gil and Brenda Archambault was a real honor. This group goes above and beyond to make sure our sturgeon population is alive and well here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Yeah, here in Michigan and in northern Indiana, we have a pipeline that runs from Griffith, Indiana, just outside of Chicago, up to the Port Huron area, where it then goes into eastern Canada, and it transports crude oil, petroleum. It's been in existence in Michigan since the late 1960s. However, Enbridge right now is in the midst of replacing that pipe with brand new steel and state-of-the-art technology. The pipeline is 285 miles in total, and we are replacing every inch of that steel. Project began last year, late summer, and will commence in early 2014. So right now in the fall, we are really immersed in construction. So we have a right-of-way where we are working within our own easement. We are laying the new pipe adjacent and parallel to the existing pipeline. We have between the two ends of the pipe roughly 1,200 construction workers here to do this project. We have heavy equipment, pieces of yellow iron. We have more traffic on the roads. In certain areas, then it is very populated with crews and equipment. But we want to make sure that when we are in a rural area, say agricultural, wooded, that we make sure that we're good neighbors for hunters, because there is going to be an inconvenience this fall for hunters. We have to coexist to get this project done and in a timely manner. And you know, hunters need to be aware of not only the crews, but the additional traffic on the roads. We'll have flaggers to either stop or slow people down temporarily. And we need to make sure that safety, again, is that top priority for our crews, neighbors, people who live and work along the right-of-way, but in particular this time of year, those who hunt. The area for our easement under construction will be clearly marked with flags. In addition to that, construction will likely be going on from sunrise to sunset, 6, maybe even 7 days a week in some locations. You know, we understand that this fall there will be a disruption to some hunters in particular properties. And you know, we respect then their patience, their understanding, because it is an inconvenience. But at the end of the day, people of Michigan and Indiana can be assured that this pipeline will continue to run safely and securely. So we do hope and look for continued patience this year as we try to get this job done on time.
Well, we wanted to show you that story because a lot of you as sportsmen will be affected in that part of the state. And special thanks to our friends over at MUCC for sharing that video with us. And speaking of sharing a video with you, what are you going to do when you get that big buck this year, that nice doe? Well, we're going to show you a recipe right now, something you can do with the back straps that I tell you what, it is a phenomenal recipe.
My name is Jim Wood. I am the chef at the Sanctuary Ranch in Stanwood, Michigan. And today I'm going to bring you a venison recipe. First, we're going to sear our venison loin off. We've got about 3/4 pound here. We're going to sear that off, put it in a different pan, throw it in the oven to finish the cooking process. So the same pan we cooked the venison in, we are going to add about 1/2 pound of diced mushrooms. We'll let that cook for a little bit. We're going to add some shallots, which is similar to an onion, only they have kind of a garlic flavor to them too. If you can't find shallots, you can just use regular onion. Just use about 1/4 cup of a very small dice. After that goes for a little while, we're going to add some brandy, which is going to give the sauce a lot of depth. We're going to cook the alcohol off by actually igniting it. After that's done, we're going to add some heavy cream, about 1/2 cup to a cup. We're going to let that reduce down, and then we're going to add and finish the sauce with some Dijon mustard.
It's hard to beat backstrap, but to be honest, cooking it in a pan, well, it was making me a little nervous. But Jim assured me that this would be some venison I would not soon forget.
And once our pan is smoking, we're going to go ahead and add our venison loin. Start from the back, go towards the front so you don't splatter yourself and burn yourself. Let the meat tell you when it's ready to be flipped. And what I mean by that is when I actually physically move it, if it's sticking to the pan, it's not ready to go yet.
Now you'll want to brown all 4 sides here to seal in as much of the juice as possible and then finish in the oven.
And now we're ready to put it right in the pan and go into the oven with it. We're at a 450 degree oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. Once your venison's in the oven, we're gonna add our mushrooms. As you can see, they've shrunk up a lot and they've browned up. After you're done with that, you wanna add about a whole shallot. You just wanna let that cook for a minute or so. You're not looking for a whole bunch of color on it.
Next up was the fun part, and the part I really didn't know how to do, but now I have a better idea.
You always want it, don't ever add any type of alcohol to a hot pan inside the bottle. It's an easy way to blow your hand off. So put it in a glass, take it off the source of flame or heat, add it to the pan, let it do its thing for a second, and then go ahead and light it. And once that flame goes out like that, let that go. Now we're gonna add our cream. And like I said, you wanna add 3/4 of a cup to a cup. And we're just gonna let that reduce down. All right, we've now pulled our venison out of the oven. You can tell, I like medium rare myself. You can tell by pushing on it. It's got a little bit of spring to it. That means it's probably gonna be about medium rare to medium. It's about 8 to 10 minutes. When I always when I pull my venison out, because there is hardly any intramuscular fat in venison, there's even less on the exterior. So I always take and put a little butter on top of it, just to keep it moist so the outside doesn't dry while we're letting the rest of it rest.
Okay, if this shot right here doesn't make your mouth water, you have something wrong with you. I mean, really, backstrap and butter. Okay, now you need to finish off the sauce. Let it thicken just a little bit, reduce down, and then add about a tablespoon or so of Dijon mustard. Stir that in and you're ready to plate the food. Start by taking just the mushrooms if possible and make a little bed for the meat. After the meat has sat for 5 minutes or so, cut it on an angle. Now you want this meat to be fairly rare. Slice it up and place on the mushrooms. This dish was absolutely the best venison I have ever had.
And there you go. Seared venison with a mushroom and brandy cream sauce.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. As always, if you'd like to check us out online, you can do that at michiganoutofdoorstv.com. You can check out old episodes, watch this week's show over again, and find out all sorts of details about the television show. You can also check us out on our Facebook page or on our new Twitter page. We've got a lot of exciting stuff heading your way this fall.
Well, that's right, Jenny. There is a ton of stuff coming over the next several weeks here in Michigan Out of Doors. Of course, we're going to have some more bow hunting. We're going to have my grouse and woodcock camp from the central part of the Upper Peninsula on next week's show. We actually have a pheasant opener for you that went quite well from the central part of the Lower Peninsula, and some fishing as well. So lots of good stuff coming over the next several weeks here in Michigan Out of Doors, and make sure you join us over the next several weeks. Also, for you sportsmen out there that want to do something, want to give back and help fight for our rights as sportsmen, well, there is a new program out called Defend the Hunt, Donate Your Hide. And what that is, it's a really cool cooperative effort between the Michigan Trappers and Predator Callers Association and our friends over at MUCC. And basically what they're trying to do is to get folks to donate their deer hides throughout the season. And they're going to have collection points pretty much all over the state of Michigan. And we will donate our hides as sportsmen. Then the Michigan Predator Callers and Trappers Association will take care of those, and they will sell those at a fur trade. And actually, if you go to their website, you can see a really cool video on how to salt your own hide. It's a fairly easy thing to do. Some taxidermists will do this for you as well, but it's a great way for us to raise some money as sportsmen to help protect our rights as sportsmen. So that's defendthehunt.com. You might want to check that out. Lots of good stuff there. And make sure you join us over the next couple of weeks. We're going to have a lot of good stuff here in Michigan Out of Doors. And if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Jay's Sporting Goods with locations in Clare and Gaylord. Jay's, serving the Michigan outdoor enthusiast since 1971 with a wide variety of outdoor products. The gear, the knowledge, the tradition of Jay's, on the web at jaysportinggoods.com. By Rosie Brothers. Located in Dryden, Michigan, Rosie Brothers has been serving Michigan for over 40 years. Specializing in outdoor needs, Rosie Brothers features Kubota tractors and equipment for use in farm, home, or commercial needs. On the web at rosiebrosinc.com. By Propane, exceptional energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas energy in homes, farms, and businesses across our great state. Learn more at usemichiganpropane.com. By Meyer, a destination for hunting, fishing, and camping. From bug spray and tents to GPS and gas, Meyer has nearly everything you need to take on nature and get you there. Meyer. Closed captioning is brought to you by Propane Exceptional Energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas to outdoor enthusiasts across our great state.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, East to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love